On the night of November 17, 2017, 25-year-old accountant Bijan Ghaisar was involved in a minor accident while driving on the George Washington Memorial Parkway. For a reason we have yet to understand, he left the scene. Maybe because it was a simple fender bender, who knows? After leaving, he was pursued by two members of the U.S. Park Police Force, Officers Amaya and Vinyard. Now, we're going to share some of the dash cam video released by Fairfax County PD so you can see what happened for yourself. Now, it shows Bijan evading the pursuit before a final stop, where the officers, fearing for their lives, fired their weapons into his vehicle multiple times as he attempted to drive away. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the video before, the officers were on the driver's side of the vehicle when the shots were fired. They weren't in Bijan's path as he attempted to pull away, and he was unarmed. Now, I'm going to say that again. He was unarmed, and they were not in the path of the vehicle as he attempted to pull away. Now, to my eyes, untrained as they may be, the threat they perceived themselves to be under appeared to be, at best, minimal. But what do I know? Bijan was hit in the head 4 times at near point-blank range and died 10 days later. There was an investigation carried out by the FBI because Park Police are federal officers. And in 2019, 2 years after his death, the Justice Department declined to file federal civil rights charges against the officers, saying in part, there is insufficient evidence to establish beyond a reasonable doubt that the officers willfully committed a violation. Video, as we've come to learn, is apparently not sufficient. Now, I was hosting the morning show then, and I was disturbed by the way wheels of justice were turning for his family. I said then that there was a need for accountability for them and for us. And it looked as though, just for a moment, we just might get it. In 2020, Fairfax Commonwealth attorney Steve Descano took the case to a Virginia grand jury who indicted the officers on manslaughter charges. And the Virginia AG at the time, Mark Herring, joined the case. However, Herring lost his re-election bid in November to Jason Miyares, who last Friday dropped the case, saying in part, Officers Amaya and Vinyard acted reasonably in their use of force and did no more than was necessary and proper to perform their lawful duties as federal officers. Necessary and proper to shoot into a car at an unarmed man as it slowly moved away from them. Again, it looked to me as if those tremendously difficult circumstances could have been avoided by stepping aside a foot or two. But again, my eyes are untrained. Attorney General Miyares, a law and order candidate, ran for office on the promise of keeping Virginia families safe. But as far as we know, he couldn't be bothered with extending this Virginia family the courtesy of telling them he was dropping the case in their son's death. He styles himself as an advocate for victims, and it appears he has decided who the victims were that night. In his eyes, not the young man whose life was ended. Merrick Garland's Justice Department can and should pick up this case. It's the family's last hope for accountability. As for the rest of us, it's time we consider what law and order means, who it applies to, and who the real victims are. That's it for Open Mic. I'll see you tomorrow.